1 year ago, I was too scared to go to school and I had to stay home because I just couldn't do it. And now I absolutely love talking to strangers and meeting new people. So I'm gonna tell you how I overcame, like it's like overcame is kind of the wrong word. I need to say like dimmed down my social anxiety, like kept my social anxiety in place. And I'm not gonna say that it's gonna work for you too, but for me it did. And I do not have the option to go to therapy because of my parents. So yeah. So I'm struggling with social anxiety like my whole life. Like the day I stepped a foot in kindergarten, I was struggling. And I was always so fucking scared to talk to people, like I could just not do it. Like the only friends I had were people that came up to me and like spoke with me and didn't care that I like didn't really speak. So yeah. And I feel like in the last year I made so much progress. Like I'm telling you, it's insane. Like I'm surprised like by myself. Now I'm not scared to go out of the house. I'm not scared to like step in a bus. I'm not scared to go into a train. I'm not scared like of meeting new people. So yeah, I've like actually kind of thought about how I'm gonna explain it to you guys. So so try to think about it like that. Imagine you're like writing a math test. This is your paper and this is your pen, and that's like what you have. But that's not everything you need to complete the math test because the knowledge is missing. Like without actually sitting down and learning for this math test, you're not gonna pass just because you have the paper and the pen, if that makes sense. And in order like to learn for a math test, learning is always like kind of uncomfortable and people do not like doing it. Same goes for me, I don't really, I mean, I like learning, I like studying, but I kind of don't. So, if you're like studying and then you do like a mistake and then you're like, oh no, like I did a mistake. So instead of just like ignoring it, it's best if you like see, oh, where does it come from? Like, how do I fix it that I don't do it in the future again? And like, maybe you realize now that this like actually has like a kind of similarity with like the whole social anxiety thing. Imagine the pen and the paper is your mindset. That your mindset you can get like off of social media videos like YouTube videos. Like I personally really enjoy watching the Wizard Liz and like her stuff, her videos. But I also kind of teach myself my mindset, if that makes sense. You also can get your mindset from like therapy, which is like really good if you can do that. Therapy is always a good thing, I believe. It's always helpful. So if you get the chance to and you have like social anxiety and you're like scared to go out, then you need therapy, and it's important that you get it if you can get it. So yeah, that's like your mindset. So yeah, let's say in your mind you're like really confident, but and you have like a good mindset and you have like the mindset of a confident person who can talk to strangers. But now the most important part is missing because you don't know like how to actually talk to strangers. So that's why in order to overcome social anxiety, you need to put yourself out there. You need to go out. You need to be like so uncomfortable that you're in the future. Like you need to embarrass yourself so much, and you need to be so uncomfortable that like at one point you just don't care anymore. Like that's literally what I did. Like let me tell you, like I did so much embarrassing shit, and like I embarrass myself so much, and I feel like so uncomfortable. But now like one day it just made like click, and I just did not care anymore. Like I genuinely do not care about anything anymore. Or like that's like not what I meant, but like I don't care about like I just don't like really care about like embarrassing myself anymore. If that makes sense. Like I hope I'm explaining this well. But it's my first YouTube video. Like I don't actually know. I'm just trying my best, low key. But yeah, you need to put yourself out there. That's like the main thing. And I don't know, like I genuinely think it's because I just put myself in like such uncomfortable situations where I just had to, you know, I just had to talk with people. I just had to like engage with people, with like strangers. And like 1 year ago, I could not imagine myself doing this. So I've actually like done an internship recently in like a kind of supermarket. And like I saw like daily like hundreds of people and had to talk to them and like help them. And that was actually really hard for me because I did not know the store. I could not help these people. So like imagine how many times I've tripped over my words. I was like so embarrassed. I forgot how to speak with those people. And you know, they probably thought like what the fuck is wrong with this girl, you know? They probably thought that, and that's okay, you know. But like over time, like after doing this like for 3 weeks, like I genuinely did not care anymore. You know, it's like you just learn it kind of. And I don't know, maybe you like don't have the option to do an internship, but still you can like just go out like with like when you're getting your like coffee, for example. You can like talk with the cashier and be like, "So, how's your day going?" So probably don't do this at your favorite coffee shop. So if you're gonna embarrass yourself, you don't have to come back. Just saying. But yeah, also I feel like a good option for like training this. You know, it's like really hard actually to say like this to a camera because I do not know like in what situation the person who's watching this is in. Like maybe you're in university, you're in high school, you're like at work, who knows? But like you can always like find people online to talk to. That's like actually also something that I did. You know, I was like I have this game that I'm like playing and there's like this community, so I just you know, like started chatting with people and like then started like with Discord calls and stuff. And let me tell you, there were so many embarrassing situations like because of me. Because I just couldn't find anything to talk to. And I was like so embarrassed. I was so scared of like those Discord calls and like 5 people for me was like the absolute maximum that I could handle. And like I just was so scared to say anything wrong. But like at the end of the day, like after doing this like over and over again, you know, I really pushed myself to do this over and over again, and it was not easy. But like after like maybe I don't know like after hundreds of Discord calls, you know, you start to get comfortable with it, and you're like, oh okay, like maybe it's not that bad actually. You know, you see, I'm still not the best at talking to camera and like talking in general because I'm also introverted and I have social anxiety. But yeah, at least I'm not scared anymore to talk to strangers because I practice. Like it's generally what I did. So yeah. So yeah, also an important role that I mentioned beforehand, like the pen and the paper, is the mindset. Mindset is important too, because if you just like, because, because like let's take this into real life, when you know how to talk to people but you do not have the confidence, and you're just like, I don't know how to explain it, but like you don't have the right mindset and you're like scared and like who knows what. Um, it's also important that you get that you get like a good mindset. Personally, like my mindset now is that I like genuinely do not care, and like I honestly don't know like where I got this from. I feel like, as I said, I got this from like just putting myself out there and embarrassing myself so much that it's like not even embarrassing anymore to me. You know, I just forget about these moments. And like a few years ago, like these moments would consume me, but now it's just like, oh, you know, shit happens. It's okay. No one cares. Oh, that's the thing that I also wanted to say. No one cares. No one. Like literally, you're the only one who cares. Like I promise you. You know, let's say you're my friend Lisa. Like you're Lisa and you struggle with social anxiety. So you know, you tell me about it. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm so sorry, and I'm genuinely sorry, and like I'm trying to help you. But like at the end of the day, I have my own problems, you know. Before bed, I don't think about, oh my god, like how is Lisa doing? Is she like maybe at a family dinner and is she insecure and is she like ordering a coffee and like what embarrassing moments did she have to go through today? You know, like do you think I care? Like no one cares. Like you wouldn't care either, you know. This world is so big, like it's so big, like humans can't even imagine it. There is so many people, humans can't even imagine like such high numbers. You know, like genuinely, like why do you care? Like no one cares. People only care about themselves and that's just like a fact. Or like not like necessarily, you know, I care about my friends and like family or stuff, but at the end of the day I do not think about their problems. Like I do not give a shit about your problems, you know. It's just not my problem, you know. So so also like maybe like when you're, oh, I have like a good example too, like when you're in a bus and you're like stepping in the bus and you're like hella uncomfortable and you just want to get out because like maybe you got a job interview and you're like so nervous you want to throw up, you just want to go home, you're thinking about ending it just that you don't have to go to that job interview. But like think about like the people in the bus, like some people are gonna look at you, they're gonna think like maybe they're gonna think like, oh, you're pretty, maybe they're gonna realize that you're kind of insecure looking or that you look sad. So what I want to say with this, like what helped me personally is like look at me, is like looking at me but from outside. You know, for example, let's say you like walk into a job interview. The people you're passing on the street, do they know that? No. They also don't care. They don't know that you're like struggling with social anxiety, you know, they don't know. No one knows what you're struggling with. And like you can make that into power because like if no one knows, you know, why act, like why just not act like you don't have social anxiety? That's like stuff I've tried before. Just act like you don't have social anxiety. And like actually it kind of worked. It kind of did work. I'm sorry, English is not my first language either. But yeah, it's like I don't know how to explain it. I'm just talking bullshit right now. Okay, no, I'm not talking bullshit, but I need to think actually. And if you're like looking at yourself like outside of your body, like suddenly everything is not that deep anymore. You know, people outside, they don't see your problems. They don't see that you're insecure. Or like or like most of them don't. You know, the people like outside, they do not see what's going on in your head. And they're never gonna see that. So it's just kind of pointless to like think about what other people think about you. Because at the end of the day, you're never gonna know what they actually think about you, okay? You are never gonna know. So like why think about it from the beginning, you know? And like another thing that you could do to kind of like get used to being embarrassed in public is to like maybe have a vlog camera too, or maybe you just have your phone. So you can just like take your phone, like start vlogging in public. And like literally putting your phone out like this, like posing for a selfie. Like like at first thought it might be like so uncomfortable and you think like everyone is looking at you, but like in reality, like maybe some people are looking at you and like thinking like, oh, she's like so weird. Oh my god, my mind is so blank right now. You see, I'm still like learning how to yap because like I'm still like low so bad at it. But anyways, like maybe if you're going like into a cafe, you can like kind of film the interior a bit, like make sure to not film any workers there, or like kind of like the pastries they have, or like, you know, just kind of vlog around. You don't even have to post it. You don't even have to look at it. You know, if you're too embarrassed, just like delete the footage right after, and you know, no one's gonna see it. Filming in public does take a lot of confidence. And I also did this, like with this camera, I actually bought this for vlogging, but I always was too scared to post it. Like I vlogged so much in public, but like the footage was low-key bad and you know, I just never posted it. I just deleted it right after, honestly. So yeah, I think I don't even have to say like anything else, you know. Remember that like with the paper and the pen, that that's your mindset, and you need a good mindset. For that, I can really recommend the Wizard List. Like, showed me so much. Like, holy shit, her videos are like so good, or like so good and so like motivating. But maybe you have like your own favorite creators, so you can also watch them obviously, or like your mindset and putting yourself out there. That's like the only thing that you need to do. Like, once you start putting yourself out there, everything will fall in place. That's gonna mean embarrassing yourself and like failing, and you're probably gonna feel so bad about yourself. But you just have to keep going. Okay, you can't give up. You just need to keep going and like keep putting yourself out there. And yeah, like literally just keep going, and you're doing great, and I'm proud of you. So yeah, that's the end of the video. If you watched until here, I feel like I would deserve a follow and a like. Please, and yeah, until next time, I love you.